Hi everyone, welcome to Maximum Attack Rallying and to your Thursday dose of rallying chit chat. We have a big topic to talk about today. A couple of bits of housekeeping first. However, if you're watching this on the Thursday it was released, I'm probably on a plane right now going to France for Rally Vos Grand Est. Rather excited about that. There will be much content from there, so keep an eye on my socials over the weekend and for some videos next week. Very exciting indeed. Also, if you haven't done already, make sure you check out the Maximum Attack Rallying merch store. Do a buy. There's t-shirts, hats, stickers, many other things well worth looking at. But let's get on to the main topic of discussion. So the FIA have announced, following a World Motorsport Council meeting held on Tuesday, it was the next stage, if you like, of the WRC27 technical regulations have been confirmed. Not massive, not complete, but it is a very significant step. So it deals with the chassis and bodywork configuration. In case you are not familiar with the theme of these regulations, it's very much about cost cutting, so taking the current Rally 1 space frame concept, cutting cost, using more Rally 2-esque technology in terms of the engine and suspension and stuff, but also allowing manufacturers more freedom when it comes to bodywork, and that is what we are dealing with in this video. So I'm going to put a little picture on the screen because the FIA have confirmed what that vehicle envelope is going to look like. And as you can see, it's basically a drawing of a roll cage with some bubbles around it. What that means is that you can see that there is now a defined volume for the space frame chassis itself. That will be common across all the cars. And then there is some bodywork envelopes, which basically allows the teams to create whatever type of vehicle they want. So they can have a hatchback, a saloon, or a crossover, all scaled, of course, very much in the mold of the current Rally 1 machines. Just looking a little bit closer at the chassis, I think it's safe to say that it does look fairly similar to the existing Rally 1 space frame. So you've got some pretty substantial side impact protection there. I keep looking down, I don't know, but it's because I'm looking at a picture of it. You've got the double roll hoop, which we had before. So overall, the chassis space frame structure looks fairly similar, but the big change is in this kind of bodywork envelope that they've allowed to allow for these different vehicle types. So you will know if you have watched my videos that I am not a fan of the space frame concept, and this is of course an extension of that. What is perhaps most significant with these 2027 regulations is that they will allow non-manufacturers to build cars. So rather than having to have a Volkswagen or a Peugeot or a Ford or whoever behind you, small tuners, as the FIA call them, will be allowed to build cars themselves. This is something that I'm really not a fan of. Not because I want to exclude people from building cars, but because it could lead to us having kind of Frankenstein-esque machines that don't really look like anything. You know, they'll just have random body styling, and to me, that I just don't get it. I don't get why you'd want that. Why would you want something that just looks random? There we go. Also, of course, I'm not, you will know if you watch my videos that I am not a fan of the space frame concept at all. And this, I don't want to get into another rant about it, but for me, this is just so far removed from what rallying should be. And it just, looking at the image, looking at the thinking behind the regulations, it just feels like the WRC is beginning to step on the toes of the World Rally Raid Championship. And I don't see the point. We've already got an off-road racing series that effectively uses prototype vehicles. So why are we trying to turn the WRC into that when the very DNA of the WRC is that it's based around production cars? So for me, it's just, I just don't get it. I think it's fundamentally going in the wrong direction. I do see the challenge, I understand that it's difficult and that we are seeing manufacturers try to move away from the small hatchbacks that the recent generations of cars have been based on, but there are ways around that. I still believe that the way forward is an evolution of the Rally 2 formula. So you keep the same fundamental regulations, but you just tweak them a little bit to allow cars of slightly different sizes and shapes so that we can have small saloon cars and even small crossovers in there. I don't believe that that is beyond the realms of possibility. provided we use some balance of performance. You know, you could introduce power to weight or torque meters as they do in rally raid to overcome any issues of cars being slightly different sizes. So I don't think that's a big issue, but obviously the FIA do. One thing I will say at least is that I do like the way that they're trying to allow cars of different shapes. I don't agree with scaling, I don't agree with space frames, but I do think allowing saloon cars, crossovers and hatchbacks to all compete alongside each other, that is a good thing. So if I can say anything positive about these regulations, it's that. Otherwise, you know, this is just another step towards rallying, moving away from its fundamentals for me. So I can't claim to be too happy about that. I am going to keep this video relatively short because now I want to throw it over to you guys. What do you think? Are you a fan of this concept? Do you think we're going in the right direction? Do you think this is going to be good for WRC, bad for WRC? As it stands right now, M Sport and Hyundai have not committed. I'm not sure if Toyota have. They seem to be umming and ahhing. And Autosport, it is worth mentioning, have said that there are apparently a couple of companies involved in building their own cars without manufacturer support. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, isn't it? As I said, let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. As always, follow me over on socials for lots of French content in the next few days. And I will see you again next time.